all started late one night when a man wanders home after a long day at work and strolls past a sight he's never before seen. A soda bar, brand new and somehow still open at this late hour. The man walks in to an empty room besides the bar, and the bartender sits down and orders a Dr. Pepper. The waiter gives a tall glass but doesn't let go until he tells the rules of this establishment. The soda costs nothing except for some introspection. The first round only costs talking about 2 things you like. "Only 2, says the man who walked in. "Well, that's easy. I like dinosaurs, and I like Dr. Pepper." Well, the bartender said, "See, that's not too hard, but the next round will cost you talking about 2 of your greatest strengths." The man who walked in said, "Well, that shouldn't be too hard. I am a great listener, even though I'm half deaf. And I help people feel valued and included." After he downs one more round, he asks for another, and the bartender says, "One more round, that'll be 2 things about your future that you're excited about." The man who walked in surmises for a moment and says that he's excited to graduate from BYU with a degree in advertising. And he's excited to be an account manager at an ad agency someday. The bartender says, "Now if you want another round, you'll have to go open up a bit more. Tell me 2 things you're nervous about." The man who walked in said, "Oh, these keep getting harder to bring up. I'm nervous about getting blown out of the water by competition for one. And I'm worried that I'll lose contact with my friends after we go separate ways." The bartender says, "Those are heavy things indeed, but not heavy enough. What about 2 of your weaknesses?" The man who walked in thinks about leaving, but decides to stay and says, "That's very personal, but I like you, Mr. Soda Tender, so I'll tell you. For one, I usually manage time well, but sometimes I get distracted and lose track. And I'm also kind of shy, believe it or not." And then he gets up to leave, and right before he does, he turns to the bartender and says, "I appreciate your services, Mr. Soda Tender. You have a good night." After the man leaves, he turns back to look at the strange soda bar again, only to find that it had vanished into the night.